What is up, everybody? And welcome back to the Bat in the Hat podcast, where we dive deep into all things nerd. My name, of course, is Princess Coriander of Tamarin, and with me, as always, no, not as always, with me intermittently is Dr. Trey. Dr. Trey, what's up?
Hello, beautiful people. I'm back. Na 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 na. Eminem?
Fucking what? I was about to say, like, Eminem? Like,
Thank you.
Back. I was thinking fuck with Trey Day.
Nah, Eminem. I love it.
Oh, God, I love 90s hip-hop.
Anytime me and my friends call each other and like we're on the phone, we're like, here, I gotta go real quick. And then we'll just walk off and be like, right when you come back, you always gotta do it. I'm back. Na 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 na. All right, what were we talking about?
Man, good to have you on the show again. Good
Appreciate
to blessed be thy name that we are able to sit around once again and just talk shit about comics and nerdy shit. And boy, do we have some shit for y'all tonight.
Yes, sir.
We do. First of all, I want to say this is the third week in a row I've had to say rest in peace to somebody. I'm kind of over it. This is crazy.
It's a sad tradition.
It's weird, man. I feel like every episode now we're going to be laying somebody to rest. But rest in peace, Kirby Morrow. He was a voice actor. He was voice actor in shows like anime like Inuyasha and Gundam Wing, and he was the voice of Goku, but not really. He was the voice of Goku in the Ocean dubs.
Right.
So a lot of us know Sean Schemmel is like the Funimation, but I did just find out while researching this, not to spit on the guy's grave. I mean, of course, rest in peace. That's awful. He was 47, by the way.
Yeah, pretty
young. And as far as I don't know if you saw further, but when I was like writing the notes for this a couple days ago when it happened, there was like no details, no cause of death, no anything. I don't know if anything's come out since then. I haven't looked, but they recorded all of the like every episode for the Ocean dubs.
Oh, really?
I don't know where they're released, where they're like, who watches that, because like I've never watched anything but Funimation, and I'll admit when I watch anime, I'm watching dubs,
Yeah.
like, I'm a loser. I can't listen to Japanese for 700 episodes
unless it's something super hot and you can't get any dubs. Then I'll do it, but yeah, I agree with you.
You know what's awful about that is that I'm really big into My Hero Academia, and like My Hero Academia has had I guess 3 seasons now, and the second movie has come out. It's called My Hero Academia Hero Rising, right? And it released in theaters with a dub, but they have not released a dub anywhere. No Blu-ray, no anything. So you can't find it online. You can't. Nothing. So it's getting to the point where I'm getting so frustrated that I can't see this movie that I'm about to watch it in subs, and I just don't want to. I started it the other day and I was just like, ugh, this sucks. I can't do it. But yeah, rest in peace, Kirby Morrow, man. That's really terrible. It's just always a shame, like as a fan of voice acting, as a fan of what we do in the nerdy community. Dragon Ball Z, first of all, regardless of what dub you watched growing up, that was a huge part of a lot of our childhoods. I mean, what were you into it growing up? Dragon Ball Z?
Hands down.
Yeah, right.
Especially like whenever the video games came out for like the PS2 and the GameCube.
Budokai.
Right.
Man, do you remember Budokai? Do you remember Budokai 1 and like the originals?
Yeah, OG Budokai, that first where you have to get Raditz into the fuck, what's it called? Not solar beam. Special beam cannon. Yeah. Where you like just mash in the analogs.
That's right.
Like,
yeah. Oh man. I remember Budokai 2 switched it up, and it was like a board game, like you were hopping, and then Budokai 3 came out and changed the world because it was an open world. You could fly around the earth. You could go hunt for Dragon Balls. It was insane. And then you would just like show up to the missions where it continued the story. But it was the first one where you like were an autonomous character that could travel around the world. And I think you could even like instant transmission and like do all that fun shit. Like really, really cool stuff, man.
Wasn't Kirby also Cyclops?
Yeah, Kirby was Cyclops in X-Men
Evolution?
Evolution. I was going to say Unlimited. X-Men Evolution, which I actually remember very well. A lot of people love the the 90s like X-Men show. And I kind of want to get on a tangent there for a second. We'll circle back, but X-Men Evolution was a show where like a lot of the characters were in high school, right? And they were like going through everyday teenage problems.
Yeah.
And Wolverine was like one of their teachers, and so was Beast. But I think even Cyclops and Rogue and like Kitty Pryde, Nightcrawler, they were all like in high school.
Right.
Like it was kind of bizarre. But I remember it being a very good show. And I also remember at Burger King, like, you remember how like sometimes Burger King and McDonald's, they would have these things you could pay extra, and it'd be like a collectible glass cup, like a Disney cup, or, well, you could do that there. And they also did Xbox games when the Xbox 360 came out.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, they did. Burger King had, there were like 4, maybe it was 3 or 4 Burger King themed Xbox games, and you could buy them, and they were very inexpensive, but you could buy them when you went to Burger King for their meals.
Right.
And it was I remember there was like a pit bike racing and like just these crazy games for the Xbox 360 when it first came out. But back when X-Men Evolution was a thing, you could buy, there were these tiny, you remember how small GameCube discs were?
Yeah.
So they were the size of GameCube discs, but they would go in your computer.
Right.
And it was like this just stupid, really poorly made X-Men Evolution game. And it was like you were accessing their computer, like Charles Xavier's fucking computer or something. And there were like games and like stupid shit on it. But I just remember really good memories. But the speaking of X-Men, I told you I wanted to get on this tangent.
Go for it.
I was talking to somebody the other day about I think we were on the live stream on Mythical Mountain. We were doing the live auction.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about the 90s X-Men show. I've watched it recently, right? Great memories, horrible fucking show. It's not good.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel. I just wanted to gauge what you thought.
I'm on the same page. Like Disney Plus, whenever I first got it, whenever they did that like giant Bundaroo deal.
Right.
I liked it, but definitely just going off of the theme song, you get into it and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, let's go.
It's nostalgia, right? Like it's
where
really
are we going? I
powerful nostalgia. But the writing is terrible. Even the episodes that were like meant to mirror classic storylines, it's just really like corny, and it's great nostalgia. It's kind of like I was talking about the Batman 89.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine if you love that movie. I love that movie. Michael Keaton as Batman, I love that. Batman Returns, I thought they were great. But they were you good?
Yeah.
They weren't good movies, right? When you go back and watch them, they're shit movies.
Mm-hmm.
And at least by today's standards. And I felt the exact same about X, and I felt really let down.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I wish I had just let the memory live and not rewatched a bunch of these 90s X-Men cartoons, because they were booty.
The only one that like holds up for me is like Spider-Man and Friends, and
which one was that? Was that like the OG? Like
yeah,
the
with
60s?
Iceman. And, Fire Lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Yeah.
That's kind of the only one of like the OG ones that hold up for me.
Does that hold up for you? Because that's old as shit.
Yeah, Marvel-wise, just because it's so old and so campy that you don't really like have that nostalgia, and you're like, oh, this was literally the shit. Like when you do with X-Men the animated series, because whenever you think of that, you think of all these like badass scenes and like fuck and then you just watch it and you're just like,
I would even say that Batman the Animated Series has a touch of that, but I've rewatched that as well recently, and it's, while there's a little corniness in some of it's still so good.
It's perfection.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy to get into. I once again cried watching the Heart of Ice episode. You know what I mean? And there's a reason it won an Emmy. I mean, Jesus Christ, It's such a good.
Those are the only two cartoon things I ever get choked up on. That, and whenever the Pokemon movie, whenever Ash jumps in the way of the beams.
You're talking about the original Pokemon
the
movie?
2001.
Yeah, and
whenever
he jumps stone.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Pikachu.
My goodness. Gosh, I'm like getting over the waves of nostalgia. Got to move on. There was a new suit revealed for Starfire, for Coriander.
Mm-hmm.
The actress's name, Anna Diop, I think is her name, something like that.
That sounds right.
For Titan season 3, and it looks amazing. And you sent it? Did you send it to me?
Yeah, I tagged you in it.
Yeah, you tagged me in it today, I think, and it looked really good, man. What do you think? How'd you like it compared to? Now you've watched the first season,
and I'm like almost done with season 2.
Right.
I think I got like maybe 3 more episodes left.
Okay, cool. I thought season 2 was great. Again, I hated the last episode, but I just went through and watched them both seasons again. And then I finally watched Doom Patrol because I never got around to that the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We can go on a tangent on Doom Patrol if you want. I love that show.
Oh, I thought it was fantastic.
Oh, thank God.
Doom Patrol was great.
Fuck yeah.
I'm very excited for future seasons for that.
Yes,
I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't get into it when it came out.
You definitely missed out, but now I'm just happy that you watched it.
Yeah, yeah.
But definitely with Starfire Suit, I dig it.
Yeah, it looks really good. I think it's nice because I kind of always get on my high horse about like over sexualization of like women in comics, right? And like overtly sexualization of women in comics, by these like artists who are just like we always make jokes at the shop that it's like, you know, that this dude was a virgin till he was like 45 and this was just his like perfect dream girl And even reading, I just caught up on Red Hood, like the current Rebirth Red Hood series, and when they brought Starfire kind of back into that for a few issues, it was like really like she just like had tape over her nipples and like a bikini, and I was like and that's like it's fine in a way, but it's also like it makes zero sense. Like I never understood it. And this is something that feels so comic accurate while still being like, oh, it makes sense that this is what she's wearing. It's still kind of spandex, but that's also kind of just superhero-y stuff.
Yeah, you need movement, but it's definitely not like in video games whenever you have like a male character, you get like the giant barbarian chest piece and everything, and if you're a female character, you get the tiny loincloth and like the duct tape nipples. And it's like, okay, I guess it does the same protection, but what the fuck?
Like, and somebody was, I don't remember who, it was a while ago, somebody was arguing with me about being like, well, like the point is they're so skilled, they're so good at what they do that they don't need the armor. And I'm like, I guess, like, I mean, and I believe it. Like, Starfire is a badass.
But what about the armor against the cold?
Like
the weather?
Right? Yeah. Like, I just never got it. I think it looks great. I'm really excited for the next season. And I think that it's going to be cool. Man, I really need you to like finish season 2 just so we can fucking talk about it.
Oh, I'm on it. Definitely next time I get on, I got you.
Yeah, for sure. We'll chop it up about that. We have 5 new trailers for random shit. I don't want to say that like all exciting, like when DC the Fandom came out, we got like 5 trailers for awesome shit. This is just 5 random trailers. However, to me they're really cool. We got the Tom and Jerry live action trailer.
Hell yeah.
Which brought back so much nostalgia for me. So very much nostalgia. And it's got like Chloe Grace Moretz, and it's got like a lot of really great famous people in it. And it looks like it's exactly what you expect. Just a really goofy, stupid Tom and Jerry, like elongated episode.
I'm like, whenever I heard about it, I was a little nervous because I didn't know if they were going to go with like a Sonic treatment to where it was like kind of a realistic cartoon looking thing. Right. But I'm just so happy they made it that like 2D cartoon sticker. I was about to
say, it's literally like 2D cartoons mixed in with the real world, and it looks awesome.
My favorite image from that is whenever, why am I pulling a blank? I'm going to get roasted for this. What's the mouse's name again? That's
Jerry.
That's Jerry.
Oh, yeah, Tom Cat, Jerry Mouse.
There we go. I feel so bad for saying that. But whenever Jerry was in his little house after he like slammed the door on her, he's watching a movie, and on the on like a little old iPhone, and next to it he has 2 AirPods taped to him, and those are his speakers. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
It honestly looks really cool. I think it's gonna be neat. I love things that tap into my nostalgia. I also love things that tap into nostalgia without taking itself like way too seriously. And you're right. I'm glad we didn't get the Sonic treatment where they were like, let's make it look like or like the Lion King treatment. Like, let's make it look like a real mouse and use a real cat. And no, it's just goofy and fun. And I love how they made it look like at the end of the series they had finally become friends, and then at the start of this movie Jerry was like, nope, psych, bitch, like you're still a fuckboy. Like,
to keep it on the nostalgia thing, have you watched the new Animaniacs?
No, not yet. Have you? So you've seen it?
It came out. I think it came out Saturday night.
I was gonna say it just dropped this week, right?
Yeah, I've watched the first 3 episodes, and oh my god, my mouth hurts just from smiling ear to ear.
Really?
Yeah, they have all the same voice actors. Like, they have Robert Paulson and everybody else.
I'm such a big fan of Rob Paulson. I think that my goodness, I was so excited when I heard that all of them, and that's what's great about like animation in general is that like Rob Paulson and them, doesn't matter how old they are now, they can still, as long as they're alive, you know, they can still do these voices and come back and do. And even just the trailer that I've seen, and I've seen a couple clips, but I haven't sat and watched the full episode yet, which I'm going to. But it still just felt just like it did back in the day.
They even cut it up the same, like you got like the normal Animaniacs episode,
right?
Then they cut it and they go to Pinky and the Brain,
and you got short
then
stories.
Then they cut it, and then they do the ending of Animaniacs.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
That's awesome. I love that.
I'm just happy to see Rob Paulsen back on the screen and just hearing his voice, because I used to always listen to Talking Tunes, his podcast that he did.
I love Talking Tunes.
And then whenever that ended, I was like, God damn, I really wish I could still hear him somewhere. And this is awesome.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And he also does Pinky in Pinky and the Brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited. I do want to watch that. There was something I was thinking. They did a really, we won't dive into it, but they did a really funny political, very, very highly political skit involving a giant orange baby. And that giant orange baby, when I watched that clip, I was dying, dude. I thought it was...
Oh, wait till you watch episode 2. I mean, I've only gone to, I was midway through 3 before I headed over here.
Right.
But episode 2, they do the Greek gods and everything.
Right.
And on that one, they do a little nod to that. So you see it and you'll just be like, oh my God, this is great.
Oh, yeah. No, you know what? That's what it was. The Cyclops.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know if you're talking about in the...
no, you're right. That is what it was.
One.
And I have these two wonderful eyes, and he's clearly a Cyclops. I just... So yeah, we got the Tom and Jerry trailer. We got, Batman, Soul of the Dragon. You saw this?
Yes, I did.
You saw this?
Holding the fist.
Holy shit. I'm so excited. Michael J. White is basically playing Black Dynamite in this movie. And so it's like these actors are playing characters that they also played. And it's like a 70s kung fu, movie. And it just feels like exactly what we need right now.
Yes, to quote Botter, it's the Sideburn movie.
Yeah, seriously, everybody had sideburns, and I thought that the whole thing was
Dynamite.
Huh?
Dynamite. I just love Black Dynamite.
Oh my God. We were talking about it the other day, and every time he would strike, he'd go sui. And I remember there was this one episode of the show, which, don't hate me for this, but the show was even better than the movie. I think the show was so funny. Even animated and what, but I remember there was one part where he was fighting. I don't remember who he was fighting, but it was these militia guys, and he gets kicked out of the back of the pickup truck. And as he's tumbling on the ground, every time he hits it, sui. And it was just the dumbest, funniest thing in the world. And I threw that shit before I came in the room. I fucking can't wait. It looks really good. It's hit or miss with stuff like that, right? Because you have stuff like Batman and Harley Quinn, which was a dog shit movie.
Yeah.
But it was meant to be oh, this is just stupid and fun, right? But it turned out to be bad, at least to me, But stuff like this can also be just a nice reprieve, right? It's not meant to be anything other than enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it is.
This one's just going to be all action, all 70s.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very perfect. Kung fu, very... 70s martial arts. I can't wait.
I'm gonna watch that. I'll probably watch that multiple times, and I'll watch it while listening to Wu-Tang. Just fucking going balls deep into the.
I've been getting so heavy into Wu-Tang lately. Again, since I was younger. And my gosh, you're right. That, it's so easy to watch something like that while bumping, anything with Method or.
Right, you're just working on the computer, and out of nowhere, your girlfriend walks in, you're in your underwear, you got nunchucks, and
you're. Let's see what else we got. We got a trailer for. So the Snyder Cut released the black and white trailer this week, right? Or at least since the last show, and it was interesting because they must have cleared up the rights issues, right? Because the last trailer, the original trailer, was taken down because of the song Hallelujah, and it still had that fucking song in it. So they must have cleared up whatever they had going on with that. Rufus Wainwright, I think, was the original who wrote and sung Hallelujah, and they must have cleared that up. But it did have extra bits of Darkseid and Superman, and it cleared up that huge rumor that we never really figured out from way back in 2018 when the original Justice League came out. You saw Bruce Wayne staring at a hologram, and because of the boot and the cape, people thought that it was Supergirl. They didn't think it was Superman. They thought that the original plan, and then you saw in this cut it was Superman, and it showed him taking off and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I still thought was cool.
The They even had Barry saving Iris for the first time in that. Whenever he breaks through the window.
Yeah,
and
but
he,
I thought
saved the lady on the girl.
they had that in the first Snyder Cut trailer.
Oh wait, they did. Yeah, my bad.
Which I'm really excited to see that. And we'll get back to some of these trailers in a second, but just bouncing off of Snyder Cut stuff. So they released a side-by-side picture of the new Steppenwolf with the old Steppenwolf. Have you seen like the side-by-side?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I love the new one.
Yeah, right? I think it looks way better.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the old one was really good, but just seeing like the update with how like metal it looks, I really
I kind of agree. I don't think I hated it when I watched it. I think I remember being like, oh, cool, Steppenwolf, right? Yeah. In my head, I was like,
Buff Snoke.
This makes sense, But seeing this version, I'm like, oh, that's better. Like even if I didn't hate the first version, I was like, oh, this looks cooler.
Yeah, make it metal, make it like
and he's
Batman
a little more,
Lobo.
He's a little more demonistic, a little more animalistic. He doesn't look so much like the guy playing him. And I think, I mean, it does look pretty cool. Not only did they release that side by side, but Zack Snyder, there was all those rumors last week that like the Snyder Cut's only gonna have 4 minutes of like new footage for like the $90 million they've spent, right? It's only gonna have 4. So Zack Snyder came out and confirmed that there's gonna be 150 minutes of new and unseen footage. Now that's not all reshoots. Some of that is stuff that he had from before that Joss Whedon cut, but he did confirm 150. That's a fucking lot. That's over 2 hours of new movie. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
I'm really excited.
He's dumping everything out there, and we're just all taking it hot on the chest.
He's shitting on Joss Whedon. He is, I mean, fuck that guy.
Right. He just moved the glass table and just right to the mouth.
I'm excited. I feel like I know we dive into like Snyder Cut. I'm sure listeners are like, fucking stop talking about the Snyder Cut. I'm
about Marvel.
Yeah, I'm pumped about it. Fuck Marvel.
Unless you want to pay us, we love you.
Yeah, Marvel. Do you need ambassadors? I'll suddenly become the biggest Marvel fan ever. Because
I'll make Moon Knight cool.
Here at this, you know how much shit I got for that when I was talking shit about Moon Knight on that episode. I don't remember how many episodes, like 3 or 4 episodes back. I got a lot of shit, like messages and stuff. Not like serious shit, but people be like, hey, I fucking like Moon Knight. Yeah. And I'm like, good for you, nerd.
Do you also like Batman? Here's better Moon Knight.
Right? Here's Moon Knight, but less shitty.
Yeah.
So we got a trailer for some, I don't know if you've heard about this. It's called We Can Be Heroes. And I guess it's a movie, and I don't know what the fuck it's about. But it's basically, they brought back Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah,
right?
It's a cross between that and Spy Kids.
Right. So it's like kind of bringing in a lot of those characters, and which of course Shark Boy and Lava Girl was by the same people who did Spy Kids. And now the actress playing Shark Girl was the original Shark Girl. Now Taylor Lautner was Lava Boy. Wait, shit. No, she's Lava Girl. Yeah. Okay. The girl playing Lava Girl was the original girl. Taylor Lautner was Shark Boy. He's not returning because he is now fat. I hate to say it. I'm a big guy myself, but Taylor Lautner has gained a lot of weight since then, and he is not returning for that role. It's somebody, though, who looks strikingly like if you grew up Shark Boy.
I still wish they would have did it because they're the parents now.
Yeah.
So it just would have added a little bit of humor to it.
And so I guess the movie is revolving like around their daughter, right? And stuff like that. It's not super my bag, but I do remember watching that movie as a kid. So I'll probably give it a view.
Yeah, and I think it drops Christmas Day, so it'll definitely be in.
What's it dropping on?
I want to say Netflix.
Was it? Oh, is it Netflix? I couldn't remember if it was like Netflix or Peacock.
I think it might be Peacock too, but I think now I'm thinking about it, it's definitely Netflix.
Do you know anything about Peacock? Because I have people telling me like, Peacock's free, and I'm like, since fucking when? Peacock's free? Is it free?
I believe so. I think that all they have is Friends and like all the NBC shows.
Right. But I haven't dared venture into it.
I haven't even finished Titans season 2 yet. I've got so much more shit on my plate.
I've been reading nonstop. I bought Spider-Man Miles Morales, the PlayStation 4 game, or the PS5 game, but I got it on my PS4, and I've played 20 minutes of it because even though I'm psyched to play that game and it's a great game so far, I have like 4 runs of stuff I really want to catch up on, and I just caught up on Red Hood, like all Rebirth stuff. I just caught up on Red Hood and the Outlaws. I'm catching up on Teen Titans, which I you know what a big Titans fan I am.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna suck. I can already tell reading it, and I don't normally do that. Like I get excited for things.
What, this new Titans run?
Yeah, this Titans run just doesn't feel like Teen Titans to me. However, I'm only a few issues in. We'll see how it goes. And then Titans, which is a different you know title. I'm gonna catch up on that. And then Deathstroke, because I only read like 20 issues of Deathstroke. But
only, right? Only 20.
Only 20.
Modest brag.
Dude, I just can't stop reading comics. But I've been really into it, and I mean I read comics every week anyways, but there's something in my brain that's like, you have to know everything about Rebirth. Like you must know everything that's gone on in Rebirth.
I'm glad I haven't caught that bug, but definitely anything with Tom Taylor in it, I'm fucking hype.
Well, you know what's first of all, absolutely. Tom Taylor fucking rocks. And we could do a whole episode on. If I could ever get him to interview on the podcast, that would be one of the best. Him, Jason Fabok, whatever.
Maybach music.
Fabok music. That's awesome. But you know what's easy about it? My girlfriend goes to bed like 4 hours before I do, just because we have such different sleep schedules. So I'll chill in bed and just have my laptop open watching. Not porn, but like reading comics and stuff. Like
she's wishing you're watching porn, but you're just on the DC app scrolling. It's
like she wakes up and she's like, "What? What do you do?"
Shaking, you keep shaking the bed. Oh, sorry, am I scrolling too hard?
Yeah, I'm scrolling the DC Universe app.
This DC run has got me hype.
That's like it's fucked up you say that, because that's exactly what it feels like. Like why can't you just watch porn like a normal boyfriend? Like, sorry, I'm reading comics.
You see, spoilers, but you see Plastic Man turn into like the lava of Plastic Man. You're just like, oh, and like shaking the bed. She's like, stop it. I got work in the morning.
Oh, that was phenomenal too. You're talking about the new Deceased. Yeah. Have you? So you're caught up, right? You read Deceased 1, and you've been reading 2.
Yeah.
Did you start reading Deceased at Hope at World's End, the online exclusive?
No, I did the first one. I've read that one too. Like I started that one, the Hope's End. I did that one, 2 and 3, but that's all they have on the app right now.
Okay, but you read the Unkillables as well, guys. Just listening while we banter about this, you gotta read Deceased. It's DC's like zombie, book written by Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor, who also did all of the Injustice comics, and wrote the Injustice storylines and stuff. It's a really phenomenal fucking book, and it's way better than Marvel. Marvel did their Marvel Zombies, and I think it was successful back when they first did it. This takes the cake. It's so brutal and so fucked.
It's insane. I mean, we could literally do a whole nother episode on it. So personally, I don't think we should dive into it, but maybe you Patreon subscribers, anybody want to hit up the podcast, let us know. Like, hey, go for it. We'll go for it.
For sure. We definitely do. And guys, just to throw this out there, we've been talking about doing like a comic book like reading club and starting to a couple times a month, just doing something where we're talking about books itself instead of just the news and stuff that we do now. So if you guys want to do that, and we did that in the past, me and Matt, and
we're bringing it back.
Yeah, we're just thinking about
reboot.
I just miss talking about comics. You know what I mean? So
I'm all game for it.
Yeah, even if we set it as like a different, like it like I'll do the weekly podcast and then we'll do that like extra or something like that. But I don't know.
Stay tuned, folks.
And then I feel like, Letterkenny, dude. Do you watch Letterkenny at all?
I watched like the first 4 seasons, but it's kind of like Trailer Park Boys to me. So it's so funny, but like I just got to like tap out.
Really?
Leave it alone for like a couple months and then get back into it.
Letterkenny is...
Because I feel like I'll start talking like it too if I watch it too much.
That's what I do all the time. Even at home, I'm just like, figure it out. It's
Figure
it out. I love Letterkenny, but the Letterkenny season 9 trailer just dropped, and I'm so excited because that also comes out Christmas Day. And fuck, like I can't wait. It's gonna be really cool. But I feel like I don't even want to get into it because I feel like when I start talking about Letterkenny, like everybody on the podcast is gonna be like, "What the fuck is that?" It's basically just a Canadian, awesome, funny ass show. It's Canadian rednecks, and you gotta watch it. Go look it up. It's on Hulu. Phenomenal show. We already talked about that. So Justice League confirmed 150 minutes. Scream 5 wrapped filming. So that's a movie that we all forgot about. Were you a fan of the Scream series?
The like original ones way back in the day,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the MTV2 show was actually pretty fire.
So
But other than that, I haven't really
I'll
kept
give
up
you
with
that.
it.
I liked the first season. Scream as just in what it is, I was a huge fan. Wes Craven is like a hero of mine. Rest in peace. And I thought that it was so original, so breaking that kind of boundaries of what horror movies are.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I loved the first several, and I even loved the fourth one. I thought it was still great. The show was a little MTV, a little too MTV, but still pretty good. The third season really was pretty awesome. But it's weird because as big of a fan as I am, like those first three to me are perfect. I don't know if I care. Like, is this something we needed? Did we need to revisit Scream 5?
There's other things they could have done reboots on. Like, definitely off of Fat Man Beyond, they had like a little questionnaire at the end of this previous episode where they were talking about what like monster movie do you think they should do a reboot on, and just hearing Mark Bernardin's pitch about the Blob, it's like, oh fuck yeah. So if they did like different characters like that, sure, but
see, I immediately thought Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Yeah,
I thought that just to me seems like they could, with what we can do now.
Mm-hmm.
James Wan, he directed Aquaman.
I'm hoping they go deep with all those, because did you see Invisible Man?
Oh yeah.
That was a phenomenal movie. I mean, it was super cheap to shoot too.
It was so slow. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
It had a huge payoff, and when it got to the end, you were thankful you watched it. But fuck, was it slow getting to where you needed to be.
It was worth it though.
Yeah,
it was definitely like if it probably had like maybe 10 more minutes added to it, I probably would have not cared for it at all.
Right.
But definitely it was like that tease to the climax at the very end.
Yeah.
Giggity.
Yeah. I thought it was I liked it, and I wouldn't mind seeing more. I love like the classic Universal monsters. I always thought that those were really neat. I used to collect a lot of like Universal monster like figures and apparel and stuff. I don't know. I have an affinity for that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, The Rock has signed up to direct a
direct. The Rock is directing now?
He's either gonna direct or he's gonna produce. He's gonna be a part of the Scorpion King. They're trying to do another one.
No shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
They're trying to do another one of it.
Will he be the Scorpion King again?
I don't know, but if they use the same CGIs, I'll still watch it.
Oh yeah.
Just of how shitty it was, but
if you ever get the chance, so there's a YouTube channel called Corridor Digital.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like a group of like independent like what's the term for it?
Filmmakers?
Like VFX artists.
Okay.
Like they do CGI, and like they're independent. They make a lot of really cool short films and stuff like that. And they did a series where they took like dude, it's all the way off and it's still dinging. It's freaking me out. I don't know why.
Rookie mistake.
I know, my phone sucks. But they took side by side the original CGI, and then they had their guys go in and like improve it.
Really?
And then they showed them side by side, and it was so crazy how they were able to fix the CGI from Scorpion King. And I was like, fuck, that looks great. Like they fixed the lighting, they fixed the textures, they fixed everything. It was really phenomenal.
Nice.
If you get a chance, Corridor Digital and Corridor Crew on YouTube, guys. It's really, really cool.
Hashtag free plug.
we just throw people out there. Wonder Woman 1984. We got some awesome news on that, man. It's going to release in theaters and on HBO Max the same day, which is going to be Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Chrysler.
Merry Chrysler. Fuck, I miss Vine. I'm excited, man. So my girlfriend doesn't really get into all the superhero stuff, but I've been forcing her to watch it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I forced her to watch the first Wonder Woman the other day. And she was like, oh, it was good. She was like, it wasn't like mind-blowing.
Mm-hmm.
She like, when I first showed her the Studio Ghibli anime movies, she was like, fuck, I need to watch all of these, right?
Where?
What?
Oh my god, y'all frustrate me so much. You
Why?
don't watch Pixar movies. You don't watch Disney movies. She hasn't seen Studio Ghibli. What do y'all do for fun?
Though I show her studio. That's what we do. I show her Studio Ghibli movies. I'm obsessed with Studio. And fuck you, because I watched the Lego Batman movie because of you, and I loved it.
Yes.
I did.
Now watch Onward. If you have a brother and you watch Onward, you will cry your eyes out.
I don't like my brother. So
well, you will still appreciate, even if you had one memory of him giving you the crust off his peanut butter sandwich.
Aww.
You'll have some memory of like, I love you too, Dad.
I'm pretty sure she has seen Onward and she loved it. So I'll give it a shot. I really do. I you know what? It's not that I don't like movies like that. It's just I don't go out of my way to watch like Pixar and Disney movies.
Have you seen Big Hero 6?
No. I'm sorry.
Leave.
I thought I don't know. You know what? I think that's one of those things where nobody would shut the fuck up about it when it came out, and all I saw was Baymax everything for so long, and I was like, I don't
perfection.
I can't watch the movie. And you know what? I'm one of those people that every time I'm like, oh, it was too overexposed, and I just didn't want to watch. When I finally sit down and watch it, I'm like, this is the great. It becomes a part of my personality.
You know, no, fuck it. I'll finish Titans. You watch Big Hero 6.
All right. What you need to do, let's see if we can fist bump without me bumping the microphone. What you need to do is sound effects. Is you need to write me a list of all the shit that I just refuse to watch.
Hey, we can do weekly homework and touch back on it if you want to. I'm totally fine with putting that in the segment.
I'll watch all that shit. We'll do reviews of like shit Steve refuses to watch.
Right. You'll have fun homework. You get to watch great Disney movies, and I have to read like a fucking 600-page discography of like Batman's cowl. Great.
Fun trade. Is that what you think I read for fun? Like that kind of like somebody wrote a fucking thesis on Batman's cowl, and I'm just like, this is so riveting.
I mean, if this podcast was video, then yeah, you could see by the whole room in here.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Batman Speaking of, there is one if you haven't seen it. It's a documentary. Fuck off. It's a documentary called Batman and Bill.
Oh, I've seen that on Hulu.
Batman
it's on Amazon Prime.
It was on Amazon. Mm-hmm. Batman and Bill, and it was about Bill Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm sorry, Bill Finger. Bob Kane, Bill Finger. Bill Finger, who basically created everything we love about Batman.
Mm-hmm.
He created Gotham City. He created the look. He created Bob Kane, who is that right? Bill Finger, Bob Kane? Yeah, Bob Kane, who is credited as the creator of Batman. He came up with just the idea. Yeah. And then he drew a guy who had a red leotard on and a domino mask. He was blonde and he had bat wings. And then Bill Finger was like, no, what if we did this? And he drew a much cooler Batman. Mm-hmm. And then he created all the things we love about Batman. Bob Kane took all the credit and kicked him kind of out of his life and went on to be crazy. And Bill Finger died penniless and, disassociated. So for years, they battled lawsuits to get him him credited in the comics, right? And it's a crazy interesting documentary. If you guys haven't seen it, it's called Batman and Bill. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's a really revealing tale of. It's kind of like Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. They created Superman, right? And they had a deal which basically they sold the character for nothing. I think it was like $5,000 each. They sold the character for, and by the time the Superman movie came out, they were very old. So it was in the 70s. They were like in their 70s, right? They were in their 60s or 70s. So the Superman movie came out and they had to sue also just to get their name, Superman created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster.
Mm-hmm.
But they never got any. So their family again sued and they finally got paid but it was not long before they passed away. But they finally got like back revenue because Superman had become this huge billion-dollar cultural icon over the 40 years, right? And they got $5,000 each for what they created, and it's insane to think about. And they said that they both got to go see the movie when it came out, the first Christopher Reeves movie,
mm-hmm.
and they just sat there. And when they saw their names flash across the screen, they just started weeping.
Yeah, it's a beautiful documentary. It's almost the same as like if you've seen the one on Netflix called The Speed Cubers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it makes you cry and just like heartwarming.
I didn't
and you're
think
also
something
kind of
like
sad.
The Speed Cubers would make me sad, but
yeah,
fuck. But yeah, guys, you guys got to go check those out. Really phenomenal documentary. So that's. I was gonna say that would be your homework, but you've already seen them, so fuck me, I guess. Whatever. But yeah, Wonder Woman. I'm really excited about that. I think that it looks good. I don't think that I think a lot of people are like complaining about it and being like, it looks stupid. I think it looks fucking awesome. It's gonna be cool.
I mean, I'm definitely interested on how Cheetah's gonna turn out compared to like in how the trailer was. How
Right.
it's gonna play out in the whole full movie thing.
Well, you gotta.
But I am really, really hyped for it.
you just like.
Oh, I did the
like
boob jiggle. My bad.
A boob jiggle. Like he just like cupped air in front of his chest, being like the
not
cheetah,
meaning
the cheetah thing.
Not meaning the boob jiggle. I'm doing like the bippa da boopity.
Oh, like I'm Italian and I speak with my hands.
But definitely tit level.
Yeah, so it's kind of like to me like Cyborg. I remember when the original Justice League trailer came out back in 2018, or when the trailer in 2017 came out, and Cyborg looked really shitty.
Yeah.
And then in the movie, he actually ended up like the effects look good. I don't think she looks that bad in the trailer, but it definitely looks like you're hoping that when you watch the movie, it looks a little better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I love Kristen Wiig. I'm excited to see her try a new, more dramatic, role than
I'm
just
interested
being.
to see how long she's gonna be like actual like Cheetah, compared to like her being whatever Cheetah.
You mean like how long it takes for her to transform into?
Yeah,
Cheetah?
like if it's just gonna be like that main fight scene at the end, or if it's gonna like be
It'll
very
probably
prominent.
it'll probably be, because you even saw like there's the first fight scene between them where she's
Crazy cat lady.
Yeah, she's just dressed like in cheetah print.
Mm-hmm.
She's not a cheetah yet, but she has like eyeshadow and shit. Like, so
Yes.
I don't think she'll be cheetah until the end. But it's a serum, right? Well, in the comics, I think it was like she took a serum and it gave her abilities, but it also like gave her advanced reflexes and speed and strength. But it then made her like furry and shit. Which,
Kinky.
dude, in 2020, so many people are into that.
Yeah.
Good for you, Cheetah. You found your decade.
Fuck big razors.
Fuck Manscaped. We don't want you as a
cut.
Sorry.
That's not they sponsor a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, please sponsor us.
Get a lawnmower 2.0.
Yeah, the lawnmower 2.0.
Hashtag promo code BATHAT20.
Robert Englund, who is Freddy Krueger, he is going to be in the new season of Stranger Things.
I'm interested in that. I don't know if they're just going to have him as like an actual character in Stranger Things, or if they're going to portray him. Oh, he's
going to portray like a crazy dude who breaks out of an asylum.
Ooh.
So that's going to be cool. He's older now, so I wouldn't expect anything too crazy, but pun intended. But I'm excited. I just love him so much. I think there is no other. Don't get me wrong. I really actually like Jackie Earl Haley as Freddy Krueger. I didn't hate the reboot the way everybody else did, but Robert Englund, man, he is Freddy Krueger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck the Upside Down. He's in your nightmares, bitch.
Yeah, right.
Quote Rick and Morty.
Oh man, Scary Terry. Now is this going to be? This is, I think, going to be the last season of Stranger Things.
I have no facts on that.
At least this is going to be the last season where it's like the kids, like the same cast.
Really?
I think that's what I heard. I don't know. I could be just spreading propaganda at this point. Who fucking cares?
I don't know. They could do it until they're fucking like 40 and I'd still watch the show.
You just got to wonder if those kids would want to keep doing. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like they're all growing up and doing shit, and I
mean, if you see that that bricks truck backing up with the paychecks. I was about to say that
Netflix check. Deadpool 3. We just got word that it is officially moving forward with a new writing team.
Yeah,
so,
they got I don't know the women who are the name of the writers, but they're from Bob's Burgers.
Right. And I don't know their names either. I didn't write it down.
Shame on us.
Shows how misogynistic this show is. So it worries me a little bit. It kind of makes me because that to me tells me they're like, okay, can we do this movie and it still be Disney approved? Can we do this movie and it can be kind of raunchy the way that they've allowed the Avengers and shit to be kind of raunchy, but is it going to be Deadpool?
Who was is this the first writers for this, or this is a rewrite, like new writers? This is all new writers on
all new writers.
3?
Yeah. So
who was supposed to be writing it for in the beginning before they got the boot or whatever?
I you know what? I'm blanking on the names, but it was
it
the same.
The people from the number 1 or from Deadpool number 2?
Both of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Ryan Reynolds assembled his writing team.
Lord and Miller.
Yes.
Lord Miller. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, they made Lego Batman.
I should know these facts better. I will tell you.
Go me, go.
Yeah, we'll tell you that was actually a funny fucking movie. It was a Lego
so
Batman
great.
rocked. Especially when like he goes to he finds out the Justice League is having a party and he like shows up and oh my goodness. The cameos in that movie too.
Yeah.
Lord, it's just so funny.
The movie is amazing. My favorite part was whenever Bruce, he's like walking and he sees Barbara Gordon for the first time. He's just like dazed. He's like, yeah, talking to Dick, and he's like, "What's your name, son?" My name is Grayson, but everybody calls me Dick. Yeah, kids can be cruel.
Yeah, kids can be cruel. Oh fuck! I just had something, man. I feel like I'm so zoned out for some reason. Universal and Cinemark, though, this is something I really wanted to talk about. Universal and Cinemark have agreed to quote unquote drastically reduce the window between a theatrical release and a home release, meaning that not only could we see more movies released at the same time for home release, which you would obviously have to pay for, but if it was a theatrical only release, you would get like the theatrical run, and then within maybe even weeks after it leaves theaters, it'd be available to purchase. You know what I mean?
Do you think they're doing that because of like the rush of movies that are going to be coming out in like 2021 and 2022?
Not necessarily. I think
it all is
I think
like
it's genuinely because this virus has shown them, oh, here's another way we can do this and still be profitable, and also here's what people want. You know, not a lot of people. Or I don't want to say not a lot of people, but there are a lot of people who don't want to go to the fucking movies. I don't like going to theaters, you know? Sometimes I do, and I really like the social distance thing now, that where they separate, because I just get anxiety. I don't like going to places and being around a bunch of people and having to do the whole thing. It's just me, you know? I would kill, even if it's $30, you know? Which is what they seem to kind of be going on now. That's 2 movie tickets, you know, if you're going to the Dolby Theater or something like that. I'll pay $30 for me and my girlfriend to be able to sit in the comfort of our own home with the dogs and be able to pause the movie. You know what I mean? And I definitely can appreciate the theater experience. You know, I understand that. However,
you can't eat a chicken parm in your underwear at Tinseltown.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, you kind of nailed it. I can't get stupid drunk or smoke a blunt while I'm, you know, at Tinseltown or whatever. You got to do it in the car beforehand, and it's just, you know. So I kind of love it, but even if they don't start doing home release at the same time, which I think we will, I think we'll start to see a lot of like influx of, this movie, just like Wonder Woman. It's going to come out the same day for home release and in theaters,
right?
You know, you just have to decide if you want to pay $30 here or $30 at another building.
Definitely.
But even if that's not the case, it'll just be nice that something leaves theaters and you know you don't have to wait a year to get it on Blu-ray. You know what I mean? That's also kind of a thing with like the Batman Soul of the Dragon. I know this is a weird segue, but I feel like a lot of times by the time I hear that these movies are being made and the trailer comes out, it's like available this day, and I'm like, fucking okay, so they just made this whole movie and I never know. Like,
I forgot all about it.
It's already available for purchase. You know, sometimes I'm blown away by that, but
I definitely am interested in that, especially with like the fluctuation of movies that are going to be coming out next year and 2022. It's going to be pretty interesting.
And you could be right. It could be because there's so much coming out that they know people aren't going to be buying tickets to go to every movie. You know what I mean? So it could, you're 100%, I didn't even think about that. You're 100% right. It could be like, oh, we want as many of these to be seen as possible. And I bet people are more inclined to keep buying movies at home than keep buying tickets to the theater month after month or week after week.
Definitely to be on like my Tony, like keep an eye out for it type of vibe. How he's always like professional spec deck for comic books.
Right.
Definitely keep an eye out for like the Cinemark app and all that to offer something like crazy once this comes in. Like you'll get like, instead of just one ticket, you'll probably get like 3 or 4. I
got banned from the Cinemark app. I can't use it anymore.
I don't even know why.
It was you know what? We don't need to get into it. It was one drunk email, and all of a sudden,
for legal reasons, we're gonna have to cut this part of the talk.
All right, man. Let's get to the part of the show that I'm pretty excited to talk about. It's The Mandalorian.
Mando.
Season 2, Episode 4, or Chapter 12, I guess.
Mando, my buddy.
How'd you feel about it, man? Just like first impressions, just like initial satisfaction rating.
That's tough. I'd probably give it a, like, out of 10, I'd probably give it like a 7.
Okay, I was thinking 6 or 7.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad by any means, and I think it had a nice like ending, and we'll get to that. But it was definitely like filler.
I'm really curious because this is Carl Weathers' like first attempt on it and everything, so I don't know if it's his like vision on how it came out, or if this was like whenever COVID finally like hit them, if this was like the first one that they did in COVID, because once they kind of got to the scene, once they're in that base, it felt pretty shitty in my opinion. Like whenever they're in that scene from like while they're in the base doing all the fighting and stuff like that, until they get into that like the little chase scene, that whole scene right there, except for the whole where they see the clones and the Snoke thing, felt really like chopped up and shot kind of poorly.
Really?
Because I mean, it definitely, just seeing it the way that it was shot, like if you watch it back, it seems super choppy and like not that like that crispness that you want in that type of show. And like they even have on the Wikipedia or like the fan thing, there's like a cutout of Admiral Blue Jeans or whatever his name is, because the guy was in the background.
They had their own Game of Thrones moment where you can see Carl Weathers and Gina Carano like shooting blasters, and in the background you can see like a crew member like in jeans and a t-shirt, like kind of showing. And you know what? It's weird because it feels like in 2020, like you want to be like mistakes happen, like it's whatever, but you also, it's like we went like in 2020, this shouldn't be happening. There's been a long history of film and TV shows where that just didn't happen.
Right. You know, and especially with like COVID going on, you have everybody at home and their only job is to just like look over this thing, swipe it for anything. And it's Star Wars on like Disney Plus's only thing on Star Wars that you get Disney Plus for. It's like, what the hell?
What, you telling me you didn't get Disney Plus for The Simpsons? For every episode of The Simpsons?
I have Hulu.
Is it on Hulu?
Yeah.
Is it really?
It's been on it forever.
Fuck me. God, I haven't watched The Simpsons since I think the only time I've watched The Simpsons as an adult was they did the Family Guy crossover. And I also realized I haven't watched Family Guy in like 5 years, so I don't fucking know. But is that show still? Do they still make Family Guy episodes? Do you know?
Yeah, they just had a new episode. They like have the
Animation Domination. They still do that?
Yeah, they still do it every Sunday.
Really?
So I think it's like it starts off with I don't know, it might be something random, Bob's, and then Family Guy as like the
that's
final.
right, because Bob's is a Fox show.
Yeah.
That's funny because I watch Bob's like when it hits Hulu. Like that's how I watch it.
I watched it today.
I still thought it was a good episode. I loved little things about it. So obviously they're going back to what's the name of the town? What's the name of the city? They're going back to someplace to meet Carl Weathers and Gina Carano, and they've obviously built up more of a city, right? Because when we last left them, they were migrating. They were like finding a new place.
Yeah, and that's the same town that whenever Mando got in the big shootout with Giancarlo Esposito's character, Moff Gideon and everything. Like, there's a lot of Easter eggs in there. Like, the school, for example, that was the bar where like Baby Yoda did the stop the flames and all that, and you first see Mando's face. Right, it was all blown to shit. They made that into the school for all the children. Right. They had like a little Easter egg in the background of before they go into the school, you can see a statue of IG-11 in the background. Yeah. They had a ton of little fan services.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool, just the way that they, kind of the progression of time, because it hadn't been. You got to assume it hasn't been super long since he's seen them. You know what I mean?
If only Jacksonville traffic can get that kind of turnover.
I don't know. I loved. I can't get enough of Baby Yoda. I feel like such a weirdo.
Oh my God, that opening scene of just red wire to blue wire.
Like, Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Why did he think that would be a good idea though?
I mean, hey, you got to make it work.
I love that he said worth a shot,
right?
And but even Baby Yoda using the Force to steal that kid's macaroons. Yeah. Like perfection, But no, I'll agree with you. It was kind of a filler. It was kind of that thing where it was like, they find out there's an Imperial base, and it's weird because the Empire is destroyed, but there's obviously still remnants of it. So you find out there's an Imperial base, and they're like, let's go fuck it up.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the original plan. I never was totally clear on that, but I think and I've watched it twice now because I wanted to like, I think the first time I was pretty distracted, but the plan is like, hey, let's go fuck this up so they get out of here, right?
Yeah.
We don't want them near our town, near our city. And they go to fuck it up, and you got the weird blue dude from the first season that it was like his very first, I think it was like even the first episode.
Moist Man,
yeah, the guy that he put in carbonite and then brought back to Carl Weathers. And I hate his character so much. Just he annoys me. It's not the kind of like comic relief I like. But they're like, all right, we're gonna go fuck this up, and they get in there, and you're right, it is kind of just like a lot of sneaky shoot, sneaky shoot, and the only interesting part is towards the end when they realize Moff Gideon's alive. They see that hologram transmission, and he's like, oh, this is from 3 days ago, and realize Moff Gideon's still alive, and he's like, I gotta go get the child and make sure the child's cool.
Fun thing about that scene, they finally tied in the not the prequels, the like new ones with Last Hope and Force Awakens and all that.
In what way?
They were talking about the midichlorian count in the blood, like because that's whenever they took Baby Yoda.
Did they? Did I miss that?
Yeah, on like the transmission of like the little doctor.
That would be the prequels. That's when they introduced midichlorians.
No, like the midichlorian blood count to see like how much of a force user someone is.
Yeah, I'm saying they introduced that in the prequels.
Okay,
that was introduced in episode 1.
But they did that, and then whenever they're looking at the pods of like the weird like little clone looking things where you couldn't really tell it had Snoke's like theme music playing over it, like very subtly. You couldn't really hear it, but if you go like,
I was wondering what was in those pods.
It's assumed that it's Snoke because Snoke was a clone for the Emperor.
For the Emperor, right.
But definitely when you watch that scene and you like just cut it to that one, you can
prequel,
hear it.
Right. This is set prequel to all of like 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Facts.
Yeah, big facts. Giancarlo Esposito is phenomenal, by the way, as always. I'll never get tired of seeing him.
I love that scene of him whenever they open it up and he's just looking badass in his almost like Darth Vader-esque Death Trooper suit. And then he has the wall of all the Death Troopers that are about to get sent out. It's so sick.
But see, and that's the thing is that, so in those chambers at the end of this episode, were those... They
look like Death Troopers.
That's what I thought. I thought they either look like Death Troopers or Darth Vader. Like, basically. There was a part of me who was like, are they fucking cloning Darth Vader?
They're my favorite thing in Battlefront 2.
What?
Whenever you can get enough points so that way you could use a Death Trooper in video game Battlefront 2 for PS2.
Yeah.
It was game over.
That's fucking awesome.
Because they were just so badass, and I
used to love that game so much.
They have like a cycling rifle that is kind of like Mando's long gun that he has.
Right.
To where anything it hits, it just one shots.
Yeah.
And they even have like the jetpack ones and all that. They're fucking mean, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, Death Trooper like stuff in general, like at the shop, like Funko Pops and Black Series stuff, like it's in high demand. People are always looking for it. Like, I mean, never say that like video games and shit don't have a big effect on how popular shit gets, because
that's like one thing I wish I was like stupid dumb money, like had just dumb money I could just spend whenever. FYE had like a life-size Death Trooper, and then whenever the Force Awakens came out at Tinseltown, you could like put your name in to try to like win one that they had there.
Right.
I went to so many movies and just kept putting my name in different emails. I didn't get shit.
The fun fact, you can order from Diamond, you can order a life size, and when I say life size, I mean life size is 10 feet tall, Hulk from Thor Ragnarok. It's 10 grand. So anytime you want to take out a personal loan with me, we'll do it up. We'll get us a life size Hulk. It'll be our shelter. You know what I mean? We'll just throw a tarp on it, and that's where we'll live from now on.
I dig it.
It is. It's pretty cool. For 7 grand, you can get a life size Thor, but I'd rather have Hulk. Yeah. I mean, I can't say it was a bad episode, but it did just feel very much like filler. Except for the end, which was really cool.
Yeah, they put all the money at the end whenever they show the beautiful glory of like how they made the Razor Crest just fucking fly up and murder the TIE fighters and shit.
Yeah. Also, fun thing. This was the epitome of stormtroopers can't hit anything.
Oh, whenever they came down on the speeder
Well,
bikes.
before that, even when they're in the hallways and shit, the only person they ever hit was Mando. And they hit Mando like 4 times, but he has Beskar armor.
Right.
And it's kind of funny because it's like, you guys can hit Mando, but you can't hit anything else.
There's like a fan theory going around that Beskar armor is like toxic. So that's why like people were like kind of skept on like how he got the Boba Fett armor in episode 1. Like the monster the sandpit monster ate him. There's like fan theory that it's toxic and it has chemicals that like attracts shit.
Really?
And people just kind of like tied it in. It was like a really long-winded paragraph that you read and you're like, oh, this makes a lot of sense.
Like a fan theory.
Just to tie it in, just like, and that's why Mando gets shot in the head a lot. Just because every single scene in this show, like anybody else, they're just dodging and they just walk forward and not get hit. But Mando, even peeks his head, he gets like 14 to the chest.
Well, it does make you think that Beskar armor is so OP, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
fuck, you can do it. Just doesn't matter. But you're right about the speeder bikes. It was the dumbest shit ever.
I love
that they deployed like 5 of these scout troopers on speeder bikes, and 2 of them coming out of deployment hit a rock and then kill each other. And it's like, Jesus Christ, you guys really went in on like stormtroopers are useless. They can't do anything.
Plus, with the time period, like not to quote C from the short box, but the time period on this, all the like soldiers that are there, they're probably like in their like late 50s and just like haven't hopped on like a bike in forever. Like even whenever they fired up the TIE fighters, like you saw all like the dust and like how like gritty it looked on the inside, just because no one's really gone
like
on that.
Newer and younger recruits or anything.
They might have, but just going off of his theory, I was like, that makes a lot of sense because it's like an old 50-year-old jumping on a bike. All right, hop on the bike. Oh, shit.
Oh, for sure. I mean, but this is like 5 years after the fall of the Empire.
True.
So, I don't know. There's a part of me that would be like, they wouldn't have any like younger people. Like, there's young Republicans. Like, you're telling me that you can't, in a galaxy far, far away, there's not young sympathizers of the Empire? You know what I mean?
Hey, there might be. To each their own.
Fair enough. I'm getting this vibe off you right now that you would totally be part of the Empire.
Why you say that?
Because you're just like, hey, you know what? We believe what we, Nah,
I'm totally all Han. I'm all Han Solo. Hey, if I get paid.
That glorious fucking hair of yours,
for some change.
That is the epitome. Han Solo never had long hair, but you are a Han vibe right now.
It's weird. You always lock the door whenever I come in.
Yeah, I know. I just need your essence.
Why are the lights dimming?
What is that where you can set up like Siri to your smart house and be like, Siri, romance protocol, and it'll like the lights will dim.
Let's get in home.
Yeah. Barry White comes on. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It really just makes me more excited for what's gonna happen next week.
What was your thoughts on the scene with Cara Dean or whatever her name is? Why am I pulling a blank? Buff lady.
Oh,
Cara something. What were your thoughts on that?
I just said it a minute ago.
Yeah.
Now you got me.
What's your thoughts on her whenever she was talking to the X-Wing pilot?
Oh, fuck. Thank you. She's from fucking Alderaan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Alderaan, the same planet that Princess Leia was from, was blown up in Star Wars A New Hope, right? And she was from Alderaan. And he was like, did you lose anyone? She's like, I lost everyone. And I'm like, oh, fuck. My nuts tightened at that point.
Right.
Oh, holy shit. That was a really cool revelation. And you gotta wonder if it's going to tie into her knowing Leia at all, or what kind of relationships that might ensue.
Whenever he put the badge on the table and like walked off after he said that dumbass shit, because it's the dumbest thing. Like, hey, did you lose anyone there? Yeah, everybody I've ever known,
literally,
in anything.
My whole planet.
It's a planet.
You fuck.
Like just whenever he dropped it, and you see like her looking down at that badge. I kind of like started snowball affecting on like, okay, I can kind of see this happening, because you definitely think in these next upcoming episodes,
right,
Mando's gonna give the child away to Ahsoka. Why am I missing her name? Red-haired Mando lady, Pow Pew.
Oh, I can picture her, but I can't think
Gideon.
of her. Not Moff Gideon. I'm so bad at remembering Star Wars names, dude.
Wrote it down.
It's like when I'm trying to, you know what I can't remember? Bo-Katan. Thank you.
Yeah. Whenever Bo-Katan's probably going to try to get the Darksaber, so she's going to try to probably intervene with that, and I feel like Cara is going to join that, and it's going to be like a big triple, like...
Gina Carano.
Yeah, she's gonna join in, and she's gonna be. It's gonna be the big triple. Like, no, I'm undercover. I got you.
Right,
you fool. Now I got you. Call the ambulance for you,
the
not me.
Spider-Man standoff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be cool. The next episode is titled "The Jedi," so I assume that's where Ahsoka is gonna, come in. Fuck, man, this could get really crazy really fast. I'm really excited for next week. And my homegirl Rosario Dawson is playing Ahsoka Tano, and I love her to death. And I'm just really excited. I don't know. I don't know if I have any predictions right now. I really just think it's gonna get fucking nuts.
There's definitely gonna be like a big 3 to 4 part like switcheroo. Like, you're not gonna see this coming, and then that's gonna get taken out from under you, and then bam, bam, bam,
right.
And then Mando's gonna end up with the Darksaber, and it's gonna be epic.
Yeah, that would be really sweet. I want Moff Gideon to die the same way that he died in Breaking Bad. I want half of his face blown off, and then I want him to straighten his Moff Gideon tie and then collapse. That's all I want.
That'd be pretty sick.
That'd be just. I mean, you already know that Jon Favreau will like put random homage scenes into his show. Just homage Breaking Bad for me. That's all I want.
I dig it.
Not speaking of, but random. Just now that we're at the end of the episode, I'm finishing The Punisher again, the Marvel Netflix series.
I love it.
It's so fucking good. It's just as good as the first time I watched it. And this is probably now the 3rd time I've seen it. And I'm going to go through both seasons again.
Quickly, how do you rank them for the Defenders?
Ooh, yeah, you want to do that?
Seasons?
Do you want to do it by season? Because I can do that too.
I'm cool with seasons. Like just Netflix ones.
Right. So by seasons, it would be Punisher season 1 for sure. Daredevil season 2 right after that. Because the Punisher season, not just because like I'm on the Punisher's nuts, but because that was a phenomenal season. And then I would even say Daredevil season 3 right after that. I wasn't as huge a fan of season 1 of that show. Then I would say Luke Cage season 1. And then after that, you can really throw it into any order. It doesn't matter.
I'm probably the same with you, but I would definitely put Jessica Jones season 1 right there with Luke Cage.
Really?
And then I just wouldn't even put Iron Fist on it. I fucking hated Iron Fist.
And I didn't really like Defenders that much. As for Jessica Jones, I didn't hate Jessica Jones. I just also didn't love it. I never saw the 3rd season, so
me neither. I just loved the 1st season of that.
I love David Tennant, and I thought that he was really great as the Purple Man. So or the Man in Purple or whatever the fuck they call him. But yeah, it's so good. It's and he just put out a statement. John Bernthal put out a statement like last week saying like, I'm waiting for the call. The minute they call and say you're the Punisher in the MCU,
oh please, he
said I'm ready to suit up. He's like I'm there.
My dream, like all homo, like super homo,
so homo,
is to have Aquaman and the Punisher just duke it out in any type of way.
Aquaman and the Punisher?
Yeah, have Jason Momoa and John Bernthal duke it out.
So like a crossover, like DC Marvel.
I don't care how, if they can make it happen, I'd pay all the money in the world for that.
Do you need him to be Aquaman, or do you just want Jason Momoa?
Just shirtless. Aquaman
doesn't matter as long as they don't have their shirts on.
Yeah. Nah, but they're both like badass, like especially like in the Aquaman movie, how like badass Jason Momoa is in it.
Right.
And the same with, it's just two alphas
he's
knocking
awesome.
Heads.
I'm just such a big fan of Bernthal. I mean, I think that he's really fun, and he is just perfect as the Punisher, man. I mean, I now couldn't think of anybody I would rather have play Frank Castle.
You can't protect her, Rick.
And I hate the people who like even that show was good up until season 4. But I hate the people who are like, I hated the grunt, like the grunts that he would do, and I'm like, what do you mean? That was alpha as fuck. Like he would get into rage mode. It was like watching Wolverine go berserker, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like snicky snoich. Like dude would rage out, and then all of a sudden 30 people are dead. Fuck, that's awesome. You know what I mean? There was a line in season 1 that I'm watching, and like he just got caught on camera on the dash cam of the cop car, and it's like all over the media being like, Frank Castle's still alive. Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, is still alive. And a report came out saying for killing 37 people, and Micro goes, 37 people, and he goes, that they know about. I'm like, fuck, he's so cool. I don't know. Like, shit.
I'm really looking forward to him and Joey Diaz in the Sopranos sequel, or what? Not sequel. Is sequel the one that's before like a movie?
No, prequel.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the prequel of the Sopranos movie.
Yeah,
like, I've seen set photos of like Joey Coco Diaz and John Berthel and like a couple other actors.
Diaz. Not a lot of information has come out about that though. Yeah. They haven't really been talking about that movie.
Just seeing photo sets of it and everything, I'm just so hyped for it.
Yeah, I was a big Sopranos fan growing up, and I love. My family is huge because we're Italian. I'm huge into like The Godfather, and like I've seen The Godfather so many times now it hurts. You know what I mean? And like all three of them, and I still love the third one.
How many times has your dad called you fat pussy?
That was I remember one of the first things that like growing up we would make a joke about, like, you know, when your parents start transitioning to like, oh, I don't care if he makes, like, I don't care if he swears. Maybe that's not the experience with everyone, but like I would be watching Sopranos with my dad, and there was a dude, for those of you who don't know, there was a dude whose name was Fat Pussy on the show, and fuck, like it was so bizarre. Was it Fat Pussy or Big Pussy?
Fat Pussy.
It was Fat Pussy, right? And he, I would laugh like a stupid kid, and my dad would be like, hey, we don't say that outside of watching this show. And I'm like, fair enough. But it was just always so bizarre. To this day, I don't understand it. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure they explained it. So I do remember when he got killed though. Yeah. In the show, which was phenomenal. But yeah, I never got that. But we got to wrap it up. We're getting over it. We're like at an hour 15. Thank you, Trey.
Only an hour 15? Oh, geez.
I know, only an hour 15.
I swore it's been 3 hours.
We've to be fair, we were sitting in this room for quite a while before we started recording, just staring into each other's eyes lovingly. Fingers barely touching, just wisps, you know. Let's not make it weird. Thank you, Trey. Thank you for being on the show once again.
Anytime, buddy.
Great having you. I know it's late and we're both probably kind of tired, but Trey brought me a monster, so it's really gotten me through this recording sesh. But before we go, I do want to just shout out a couple books. If you are listening to this, on Wednesday. Fuck, what day is Wednesday? The 25th.
Happy pre-Turkey Day, everybody.
Yeah, Turkey Day Eve.
AKA American Fasting Day.
You got any big plans for Thanksgiving?
In the like early time, probably by like noon, eating at my girl's grandparents, and then later that day we'll go over to my uncle's for our big family one.
Right.
And my uncle's like a competitive like barbecue guy. He goes like to like Memphis and all the time. So
your family's way cooler than mine.
Yeah. We're gonna have like, I think they're probably gonna start smoking the turkey on tomorrow Tuesday? Probably tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And just let it go for about like 2 days.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But we're doing that, and then normally we do like a big party on like Thursday night at the inn at my buddy Raymond's house because he's Filipino.
Yeah.
So they just go fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we're doing it with COVID going on, but definitely those two.
That's what's up. Yeah.
What about you?
Me and the old lady are going to be here celebrating with my dad and I guess his girlfriend. I told you, I think before the show, we bought like $250 worth of food just to make a fuckload of Thanksgiving food. We got 2 hams dose, you know, because we had 2 different ways we wanted to try to cook it and make cool shit. And, you know, mac and cheese, collard greens, green bean casserole, broccoli casserole.
You put bacon in the greens or no?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, thank God.
We do. We also... so we make like cornbread, right? We make crackling cornbread.
Hell yeah.
And because we both love crackling. We couldn't find crackling anywhere. And I'm like, we're in the South. Why the fuck can't I find crackling? So we're going to try, we got really thick cut bacon and we're going to try frying it and just getting it as crispy as possible and making it with that. But I was really upset that I couldn't find any crackling. And I know when we do find crackling, because we made it a couple times before here, Like in South Carolina, bro, it was everywhere. It was so easy for me to get really good crackling.
You probably find them here at like Harvey's.
You think?
That might be your move.
We tried
either that or Rose. Rose definitely
maybe
has like some.
We tried Publix, because we found it at Publix before. We tried Publix, we tried Winn-Dixie, and we tried Walmart. We couldn't find it anywhere for those three. But so yeah, we're just gonna try thick cut bacon and frying it and just trying to make it as crispy as possible. But
oh yeah,
I love crackling cornbread. But yeah, we're gonna.
Oh yeah, fucking Bat Hat Podcast. Everybody needs to hit us up. What are y'all looking forward to for Thanksgiving? What's your favorite sides? What's your favorite foods? What do you think Batman would eat?
What the fuck do you think Batman would eat?
Lobster thermidor. And he hides at night.
I hate how much you love the Lego Batman.
Such a great movie.
That is a good point though. By the way, let me just give that shout to our social medias at Bat Hat Pod on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, the Bat in the Hat Podcast on Facebook,
MySpace.
MySpace. Oh God,
Gmail.
MySpace is still a site, right? We should totally get a MySpace page.
I mean, hey, I'm down. I'm already thinking of like the background music for whenever you click on the link and everything.
But please give us a follow, give us a like. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please give us a rating and a nice review if you like the show. Just tell us what you like about it, and hit us up on Facebook or on Instagram in the DMs. And like you said, let us know what's your favorite thing about Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for? What superhero are you thankful for? And what do you think Batman would eat other than lobster thermidor? Let us know. But books to look out for. If you are listening to this, that means it is after Wednesday the 25th, which means new books have come out this week, and there's only a couple of note to really talk about. Daredevil number 24 is coming out today, and that is the first issue of the trial of Matt Murdock. Or I'm sorry, not the trial of Matt Murdock, the trial of Daredevil. Daredevil was arrested, and to conceal his identity due to new laws in their universe, he is being tried. Well, in like the Marvel universe in general,
okay,
they are being tried as Daredevil. So they can't unmask him. So he's going through this whole process with nobody knowing his identity. The only person they showed the identity to was the police, like chief or commissioner or whatever. And he was pissed off because he was like, Matt fucking Murdock. He's like, I've trusted you, So that's going to be a really interesting, I think it's going to be like a 3 or 4 issue like story arc. It's been leading up to this, but he's being tried for murder as Daredevil.
Gets hit with the guilty. Then he walks around the corner, takes the mask off, and he's good.
And he's like, whatever.
Yeah, it was that guy.
Action comic. Well, Daredevil is so, like, the whole theme of Daredevil is Catholic guilt. So that Matt the whole time is just like, I deserve this. I'm gonna take my punishment like a man, like a devil. It's kind of funny, but it's very good writing. I'll tell you, Chip Zdarsky just gets Daredevil.
Yeah.
Action Comics 1027. Man, Action Comics has been on the same story arc for like 30 issues now, and that's fine because it's really riveting. Brian Michael Bendis is doing a great job, and we're finally, I think, getting to the crest of the whole Invisible Mafia storyline that we've kind of been going on, and now they're trying to be like, now she's trying to be like, Lois Lane's from another dimension. It's a whole clusterfuck. Read it. It's very good. Rick and Morty presents Jaguar #1.
Nice.
You remember Pickle Rick, that
I love
episode?
Jaguar.
Yeah, Jaguar, right? So
Yeah.
he's getting his own, I think it's just a one shot, but
I'd pick it up.
fuck, yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
If you like Rick and Morty, pick up Rick and Morty presents Jaguar #1. Suicide Squad 11, it is the final issue of Tom Taylor's Suicide Squad because they cut 25% of their titles, and that was one of them that got cut. And Deadshot was just murdered, so we'll see what happens in issue 11.
Right.
Spoiler alert. And then the only other one is the Other History of the DC Universe, which is going to be a largely Black Lightning, I think, story. And it looks, I know very little about it, but the artwork looks amazing. So I'm excited to pick it up. Those are the books, though, that you should be looking out for this week. Call your local comic book shop, preferably Mythical Mountain if you're here in Jacksonville, and reserve yourself a copy, pay for it over the phone, do whatever you got to do to make sure that you get one of those things.
We also ship out of state.
That's true. We ship. So
She shipped by the sheep show.
Yeah. We sell. She. I could never say that. Fuck. regardless, thank you guys so much for listening once again. Trey.
Speaking about comics, what about that Walking Dead? I know like a while ago you kind of put us on Walking Dead's doing the reprint of In Color and all that. How's that going so far?
So last week, Walking Dead Deluxe, it's called Walking Dead Deluxe because they're reprinting it all in color, which while reading it, it's like, why the fuck was this ever in black and white? This actually just, like, the color palette is so pleasing to me that I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. But number 3 just came out, so definitely, guys, keep your eyes open for that. I'm collecting them. I'm collecting all of those books, and it's been fun. I'm excited to see. A lot of people say that the show got really stale and dumb at a certain point, but a lot of people say the comics stayed really great. So
awesome.
I'm excited to keep reading. I think that it's written, and what's cool is at the end of each one they have a photo of Robert Kirkman's original. It's like a sheet that he would write, and it's just bullet points 1 through like 23. Really? And
that's so sweet.
It's like each page, what the page was basically like, so the order of events, right? It's kind of neat because it's like 1 through 23, and like it'll be like Rick wakes up, Rick walks down street, Rick, just
those little keynotes.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like keynotes, and it's like the original sheet of like when he was planning these issues. So
a little inside baseball.
I think it's really a little inside baseball.
Nice.
It's really cool. But Trey, thank you so much for being on the show once again. I'm sure you guys are going to see plenty more of Trey in the future because he seems to like doing these. And check us out. We're hoping to do some collaborations with. I'm not going to say any names right now, but we're hoping to do some collaborations soon. And
some guy named Bo Rogan.
Just some asshole who I don't know, maybe is an announcer for the UFC now. But we are hoping to have some really cool interviews coming up soon. So stay tuned. And other than that, have a great night.
Chef kiss.